Welcome back to another episode of 360 Sports. Today we're talking all things Formula One. I'm your host, Marina, and I'm here with Steven, Tristan, and Jason. Guys, how you feeling?
Fantastic.
Last F1 show of the year.
It's a beautiful Wednesday. We're here. It's going to be a great time.
All right, let's go straight into headlines. It's been a week of celebrations for Max Verstappen.
Unfortunately.
Cover of Champions Edition F1 24 came out this week.
That picture's great.
It is
did.
a
I
good
like that
picture.
picture. I mean, who else could be on the cover, honestly?
I mean,
Well, I
he
was
was the
telling Jason, I mean,
champion.
who else would be on the cover for the last 7 years?
I mean, who?
Lewis,
I guess a little trivia. Who was last year?
Max.
It was Max again? Okay.
Max.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's F1 24
Max-
Champions Edition. It has to be the
Ah,
champion.
fair enough. Yeah. Okay.
Also, he was named Time 100's most influential people of the year, which is really cool.
I wish they would. We were talking about this a little bit.
Yeah.
Where he's ranked in
Yeah.
the 100.
I don't think
you
there
know
is
what
a
I mean?
rank, though.
They should be.
No, I
There
mean,
should
I
be.
thought
I think
there
it's
was.
just 100 people.
I mean, I don't read Time magazines. We all hear about the Time 100, I guess. But
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
still
I
impressive.
also I think it's interesting the picture they chose for Time magazine.
Mhm.
He's so dark. I think Jason texted
Yeah, they
it to
took,
me.
like,
He was like,
The worst picture ever.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh my god.
"It looks blue."
It's the sloth, but scarier.
It is scary. It's kind of like a horror. Like I don't know.
It does look like that.
Mm.
Time 100% Max Verstappen.
It's like a movie
just-
title almost. Kind of.
Yeah,
Like a biopic is in the works.
yeah, I think it's funny, but it's deserved. Now they did hype him up a lot, though.
Yeah,
You guys thought he wasn't happy about it.
I'll say. I mean, it makes it sound like he was the first guy to ever win an F1 championship. Like,
Nope.
jeez.
Oh, come on, we
But-
are in the presence of greatness.
We
He
are.
won. What was it? 19 out of 23.
You should have this
Yep.
memorized now.
20 out of
on.
23.
Come on, Max
Gosh,
Verstappen's number one fan.
Yeah.
Lock
Come on
in.
now.
He won a lot of races last year, so I feel like justified.
So did Lewis Hamilton, but that's okay.
Well, as Time Magazine said, the $3.2 billion Formula One business now centers on a singular question: can anyone beat Max Verstappen? So we're going to play a little game called Pick a Door. We're going to have to agree on which door to choose, and we're going to construct our own F1 team, including our number one driver, a car, and team principal. And then once we do that, we'll figure out if we can beat Max Verstappen.
All right, let's work as a team here, guys.
Okay.
Come
All right,
on
guys.
now.
First
Yep.
one, team
All right.
principal.
I'm feeling
Team
two.
You're feeling two?
I'm
Straight from the
feeling-
get-go, right in the middle?
yeah, let's
Thread
go
Thread the
two.
needle, right in the middle?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Let's do two. I like that.
2. Let's see.
What do we got?
I don't know how I feel about that.
It's
How
okay.
about
That's
I
okay.
like him.
You
You
like
know
him?
why I like him?
Why
He
is
led Porsche to victory in Le Mans, and McLaren headhunted him, and he's just killed it at McLaren.
Yeah.
The development from the start of 2023
Very
to
Yeah, I was
the
gonna say
end,
the turnaround.
they went
Yeah.
from
Very
the
true.
back of the
Yeah.
grid to the front.
Yep.
I've never seen development like that. So
Call me
Yeah.
crazy,
I like
but,
him a lot.
I mean, obviously everyone's a big fan of James Wells. Like his come up recently, especially with working with Williams, is
Yeah.
very impressive. You know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Williams
I
is
actually
just not
think
there yet.
consistency of these three. I mean, I like Fred too. He's really cool.
He's cool.
But,
Andrea was like the best last year.
yeah,
Fred was great in 2022,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
James is getting there.
Well,
Yeah.
he's had strategy
I
concerns.
think all three of these are actually. I wouldn't be too mad with any of
Any
them,
of
if that
them,
makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Andrea Stella. Let's see what's behind door number 2.
Okay.
Who's
So
your
number one driver. Now, if I can put any perspective on this,
Okay.
I'm wearing a Dale Earnhardt shirt.
Okay.
Let's do it for Dale. Dale's number 3.
oh yeah,
That works for me.
Okay.
Okay.
Listen, we're switching sports here, but I
That
want
works
to
It's
go
the
with
same
3.
sport.
What do you mean?
NASCAR?
It's still motorsport.
It's still blanket. Yeah, all right, blanket term, I guess. But still, NASCAR. I don't know. Anyways, if you guys are cool with door 3.
I'm cool
all right,
with
let's
door
rock
three.
it.
Let's
Here
rock
Here we
number
go. Come on.
3.
Don't do me dirty. All right.
Not the worst thing in the world, but not the greatest thing in the world either.
So Yuki Tsunoda is being led by Andrea Stella.
Yes.
Can anyone do it as good as Franz Tost though? Because he really turned Yuki around.
Yeah, it's true.
Like
Yeah.
when Yuki got to F1, he was insane.
Mhm. I mean, especially if we're talking recent performances, and we've talked a bunch personally.
Yeah.
Yuki's
Yeah.
been
He's
Really
been more,
consistent.
very impressive this
he's
season.
been more exciting than
So,
Lando Norris, I would say.
I mean, I would argue. I'm guessing the next door is probably going to be
The
whatever
car.
car. So
Mhm.
maybe if we get the right car for Yuki, it
We'll
could work
see.
out. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah,
so Andrea
that's very
Stella is
true.
leading
Yeah.
Yuki
Very
Tsunoda
true.
in what car? Let's see what's behind. Last doors. What number are we
I'm
going?
thinking, guys.
I don't feel
Do we
like
do a
one.
repeat? You
Yeah.
don't feel like one.
No.
Jason, any perspective?
we should go in the middle.
Yeah.
When in
Yet
doubt,
again?
Middle
it
again?
out.
Yeah,
Middle
I
again?
like 2.
All
I
right.
like 2.
Two. We like
Go
two.
for it.
Okay.
That's
Okay,
So-
thank God we
terrible.
go 3.
What year? What year?
Our
Right
cars
now?
can roll.
2024 car.
Oh,
We're talking
So-
2024.
So Yuki Tsunoda is being led by, he's driving the Mercedes, being led by Andrea Stella.
Yeah.
Is it
Is he
crazy
gonna
that
beat
that could
Max
actually
Verstappen in the
happen
Red Bull?
too?
Is he gonna be Max? I don't even think if any of these combinations came together, we were getting a
Well,
piece that could beat Max Verstappen.
Best case
Carlos Sainz in
scenario.
the Ferrari with Fred Vasseur
Let's-
has beat Max Verstappen
Yes.
this year.
Well, Max
So-
Verstappen technically beat himself. Technically, but that brake failure
Well,
wasn't
yeah, I was
because of
gonna say,
Ferrari.
that wasn't-
Ferrari
that
didn't
wasn't
cause
him.
that.
That was Red
Unless if
Bull's
there was
fault.
some mischief.
No,
Yeah.
no.
You know, yeah. I
No.
don't know. I mean, the only other one I would say would maybe be better would maybe be, well, I can't even say that. But yeah, I mean, Carlos Sainz at Ferrari, I mean, that's the best
Yeah.
option we
That
got.
was probably the best option we were gonna get.
Even
Yeah.
Lando, I feel like maybe. But
As much as I love
Carlos
Lando,
is good at strategy, and
Yeah.
Ferrari is bad
Yeah.
at strategy. Lando might not be the greatest at strategy.
Lando in a Ferrari though.
that would be
Would've been
interesting.
Really interesting.
Imagine
Yeah.
Lando Norris reuniting with Carlos Sainz at Ferrari. That would be
Too
dope.
bad
I'd be a
Carlos
big
Sainz
fan
is
of
leaving
that.
Ferrari.
Yeah, well, you
Going
can't have
where?
everything.
We don't know yet, but
Who
we'll
knows?
figure it out.
Well,
All right, let's move on to our next segment, Fact or Fiction. I wrote 3 statements relating to the Chinese Grand Prix coming up this weekend, and you have to guess which ones are fact and which ones are fiction.
Okay.
easy enough.
All right,
Easy enough, he says.
let's see what the first.
In theory,
Lewis Hamilton has 4 wins at the Chinese Grand Prix. Fact or fiction?
true.
You're saying it's true?
True.
Yeah, I'm going true.
I don't know numbers like that.
Well, you're saying fact.
You
Yeah,
saying
fact.
fact?
not true.
I'm gonna say
Fiction?
fiction. I think it's like one more.
Fiction?
That's my guess. I'm thinking
You're
it's
wait,
close.
wait. So does it
Oh,
have
for
to be
real?
exact or can it be like over?
No, it has to be this exact
fact.
fact.
Oh,
If it's
fact.
fact, it's
Okay.
fact.
If it's
Okay.
fiction, it's fiction.
So you
I'm
said
still going
fact,
fact. I'm
fiction,
still going
fiction.
fact.
It is indeed fiction.
Damn.
He
That
has
sucks.
6 wins.
Oh,
In
okay,
China.
all right. I mean, listen, he was on a tear for about 7 years. So, like, I,
I mean,
you know,
fair.
yeah.
Right for the wrong reasons, I guess.
That's how it goes.
Yeah. All right, next one.
What do we got?
If Max Verstappen wins this weekend at the Chinese Grand Prix, he will have won 50% of the races since the last Chinese Grand Prix.
2019.
Fact or
Well,
Fiction.
I feel like that's fiction. I think it's over that.
Well, how many
More.
years?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what he will have won. Yeah, technically, how this is worded is 50% on the nose. Is that what that means, or is it above
50% or more.
or more? Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna
so
say
this one.
fact. I think
Fact?
it's a fact.
So it's
yeah.
so
I'm pretty sure it's 50% on the nose.
on the nose. Dang. Okay.
I'm saying
I have
fact.
to check
Oh.
with the statement
yeah.
that I
I'm gonna go
wrote.
fact.
Okay.
He's just been
Interesting.
too good the
Fact,
past few
fact.
Yeah, I was
years.
gonna say I think it's
Fact.
fact
It
as
is-
well.
It is fact.
It is
I was
fact.
gonna say also that is
50%
way
on.
too specific not to be true.
It is very specific.
Absolutely.
All right, last one. A Ferrari driver holds the lap record at the Chinese Grand Prix. I'll give you an extra hint.
Hmm.
It doesn't have to be a current Ferrari.
Well, that's what I
driver.
was
It
gonna
could be
say.
Charles or Carlos, or it could be somebody else.
Okay.
I can see Sebastian Vettel doing that.
Yeah.
But-
Does the Chinese Grand Prix have any reconfigures? Like, has it been? Because I know obviously the
I don't think so.
no,
Not since
it's
the
always
last.
kind of been the same. Interesting.
Hmm.
The only chance I would think is like the 2006 Ferrari was really quick.
Yeah.
I think one of those cars from 2006, like Pedro de la Rosa, he still has the record for Bahrain.
Yeah.
That's
So,
insane.
That's crazy.
Almost 20 years ago.
Yeah. Well, how long has the Chinese Grand Prix been around too? It's been around since.
2004.
So
We're
it's
testing
a
ourselves
so it's a
now.
newer one. Okay.
Our knowledge is getting tested without the script today. It's great.
I wouldn't- I want to say false, but
I'm gonna say
Fiction?
false as well.
Fiction?
Yeah, fiction.
I'm saying
yeah.
it's fiction too.
We gotta use
saying
the
it's
right word.
fiction.
I guess it's true.
It is
Dang.
fact.
Whoa.
Who is it?
Michael Schumacher.
I was
there
right.
you go. Yep, you're
You
right
should've
on
gone
it.
with your gut.
year.
Golly.
You should have gone with your gut. You were very close. You were close.
You were nailing
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
You were like, you
I-
said
I
it,
was
and I was
on
like,
the
he's going to go
rails.
fact, and he's going to
And I fell off.
Just
the-
wrong
Would that have
driver.
been all right?
You're like just off the bullseye. Just one of those.
The wind blew.
I like that.
Little darts, little.
Little bars. All right, let's move on to the next segment. As we know, this weekend is a sprint race, round 5, and it's the first sprint race of the year. But they've also changed the format since last year. And I don't know what you guys think about the changes to the format. Friday used to be FP1 and qualifying. Saturday was sprint qualifying and sprint race, and then Sunday was the race. They've now put qualifying after the sprint race setup, so it's FP1 and sprint qualifying on Friday, sprint race and qualifying on the Saturday, and then Sunday.
Okay,
race.
so this is what we got now.
This is now.
Yeah.
This is now.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I think it's great. I've said it many a times in my own like personal dialogue. I love watching qualifying in general.
Yeah.
So the elimination of qualifying on a sprint race weekend is like,
Well, you still have it.
well, you still have it, yeah, but
Yeah.
like I don't know, like the how do I describe it? The structure of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I like qualifying being the very last thing before the race. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is what this is now, right? So the
Yeah.
sprint
Yeah.
race is its own independent thing, and then we almost have like the race itself is still detached enough now.
Yeah.
If that
Yeah.
makes sense.
I mean, I like it. I just was switched. Let's see. I was switched the practice one time with the sprint time. That's
Okay.
what, just because I feel like looking at the times, like that's insane for the drivers. You have practice one and sprint qualifying
Mhm.
the same day, just like 3 hours apart, 4
Yeah.
hours apart. that is.
It's an intense weekend.
And then you got the
It
sprint
is.
and
Yeah.
qualifying for the race on the same day,
Yeah.
hours
Saturday's
later.
a tough day.
Yeah, and then you got the race next day,
Here's-
which isn't terrible, but
Well, I'll let you say what you
Jason's,
think.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's got
because-
some perspective here.
Because when they first introduced it, all it was a single qualifying on
I
Friday,
hated that.
Mhm.
It's
which
so
would qualify
bad.
them for the sprint race on Saturday.
Yeah.
And that's all they would have.
Yeah.
And the
and then
sprint
the-
race would qualify
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the
the
race.
finishing
Wait,
order
I
of
do
the
kind of
sprint
like that
race.
though. I think
Yeah.
that's cool.
You like that?
I think that's
I
cool.
hate that.
I think it flows nicely, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think this is a complete upgrade. I
I
really
like
do.
the way F2 does it, where they have one qualifying and then their top 10 are reversed for the
Yeah.
sprint race. But I don't think it would work in F1.
Why not?
Well-
Max would hate that.
Oh, for
Do you
sure.
think Max would still win from it? Well, he would
Of
still
course
win
he
from
would.
it.
Yes,
Yeah.
Of course he would.
absolutely. In
I
that
don't
Red
know.
Bull, absolutely.
You got some missiles in the back of the pack that might just take him out by accident. You
Nico
never know.
Hulkenberg.
By accident?
By accident.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Going back to what you were saying, and that this is a rigorous weekend, both of you guys were saying.
Yeah.
These guys get paid millions of dollars.
It's
I want
true.
to see them struggle. I'm sorry. I know
No,
that's
that's
crazy
fair.
to say, but
That's
I
fair.
want to see them like. I want the weekend to be a challenge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Would you like to see Max Verstappen pushed just a little?
Yeah, I think of that picture of Fernando Alonso in the little lawn chair, waiting for someone. I'm sure you would
that
probably even know
picture.
when that picture was taken.
Is that
that-
Spot?
That was
Spa?
Spa.
No, it
No?
was Brazil.
Oh,
It was
look.
Brazil.
I do
What
hear
year?
that.
And
What
the
year?
2016.
I love
Yeah.
putting him on the
His
spot.
engine
He's so
blew up.
good at it.
So
It's
good.
impressive.
There's a second time. Hungary 2017. They bought him a real lawn chair and made it a summer break promo because that's
I
right
remember
before the
this.
summer break.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they painted the
absolutely.
ground.
I remember
It
seeing that on
said
social
summer
media.
break, have a fun.
Yep.
That's the writing.
a
It was
fun.
so
Have
funny.
a fun.
Have a fun. What I like about this
Mm.
is that now you have two park fermes. Because for
Right.
anybody that doesn't know, park ferme, during park ferme, they can't make major changes to the car. So what would happen is like you would have your sprint race,
Mm.
and then someone crashes, and they don't have anything to have parts to replace it.
Mhm.
And then now you have to start from the back of the grid because you
Yep.
can't replace the front wing with the same spec
Yep.
as you did before. So now
Yep.
you have sprint quali and the sprint race, and you have park ferme there, and then you have a break between the sprint race and qualifying where you can make changes to the car.
Mhm.
I also
that's
think that's
fair.
going to make it a lot more competitive because
Yeah.
you've seen where your car is lacking on the race.
That's true.
What
That's true.
corners is tough? Where do you need more downforce, less downforce?
Yeah.
And you can fix it for quali and race day, and also see how important was sprint quali for sprint race.
Yeah.
And so should we maximize qualifying or should we maximize the race?
That's
Speak-
fair.
Speaking of fixing, what do you think Williams is thinking going into this weekend?
Williams is so screwed.
Man, they're like the Flintstones.
Well, we
out
don't
here.
know, right, if that car is ready to go yet, right? I don't think they've said it because remember they said there was possible crack damage to the hull or something like that
Yeah.
of the car.
Yeah,
That might not be the proper term. That's a boating term,
Yeah.
but
the
Yeah.
undercarriage.
I mean, I'm
The
sure
chassis.
also there's some strategy in using this as the sprint race weekend the first of the year because China hasn't been on the schedule in a while. So just as much track time and experience for the younger guys
Yeah.
as possible.
Yeah.
Which, it's just another little tidbit I was thinking about. But
I
yeah, no,
just-
double park
yeah,
Ferme,
no.
that was,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hate that.
yeah.
Why China? Why China? Of all places you could do a sprint race, why put it at
What
China?
if it's great? Who knows?
They haven't raced in China
Have
since
you ever
2019.
seen a race
Yeah.
at China?
Yes.
Mhm.
You saw 2019?
Yes.
2019 wasn't that bad.
Okay, but that's not the problem. The problem is we haven't been to 2019 in
We haven't
That's
been
gonna
in
make it
China
better.
in 4 years.
2019.
The chaos is going to make it better.
we
was
haven't
a
been to
good
China
year.
in new
Yeah, that
reps.
was a good
Oh,
year.
yeah.
It's gonna be chaos, and I'm sure Williams is hating it.
Oh,
Like,
I'm sure.
Well, if they had
Trust
a
me.
car that they could drive properly, we wouldn't even be talking about this.
Or a
Yeah.
driver that can drive it properly.
That as well. That as well.
Yeah, poor Williams. They
Williams.
really are so.
Rip.
But yeah, I just don't like it.
Totally fair.
I like the format.
Yep.
Love the format. This is the way to go, in my opinion.
Mhm.
I just don't like that it's at China
Yep.
because, like I said, we haven't been there with new regs.
Yeah.
it's going to be chaos.
That's
Now,
the point.
the
We
one
love
thing is,
chaos.
We do love
If
chaos.
you-
Controlled chaos.
Mm-hmm.
drivers
Maybe.
that have been at their team since before and the teams that are better at coming to the race weekend with a good setup
Yep.
should be advantage.
Should
Have an
be
advantage.
for
Should
sure.
be
Double
advantage.
process.
So what
Have
I'm
an
hearing
advantage.
is same old, same old.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's what we're expecting.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Let's move on to our next segment. I've titled this one, well, Jason titled this one, Just an
Man.
Incident. And if
Check
you
out
know
Charles
what we're
in that
talking
picture.
about, you
Wow.
know what we're
Oh, we
talking
even got the picture here. Look
yeah,
at
so I put him up there.
that. Young
Little
Charles Leclerc.
Charles.
This
Little
meme,
Charles.
if you're an F1 fan, every single F1 fan has seen this
Oh,
meme
yeah.
1,000 times.
This is probably posted daily on TikTok still.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely. I see
want-
it almost daily
I want to know how
100%.
his race suit got so dirty.
because they were racing go-karts.
No,
Yeah.
it
In the
was
rain.
the it's the incident with Max.
It was the
Yeah,
incident.
Pushing
it was
off
the
track.
incident.
It was
See?
the
With the
There's the
remote.
lore, right?
Yep, there
Gotta
it
get
is.
up on it, Steven.
Oh,
Gotta
my
get
bad.
locked in.
You right.
Anyways, we're going to take a look at some incidents that have happened previously at the Chinese Grand Prix.
Yeah, you know. I
This
mean,
was before the race.
So that's Michael, right?
That's Michael and Albers in 2005 before the race even started. They just crashed each other out
Listen, if and
on the
I'm-
laps of the grid.
we are gonna get a replay. I know it's gonna come back. This reminds me of like, I mean,
He's
my
just so
example.
This is
chill
the
about
best
it.
part
Oh yeah,
because he gets out of his team is on the radio. He goes, "Get out of the car, run!" Because this is the time when they were allowed to have third cars. So
Oh,
he ran back and
running
he
back
raced
to the
race.
right. Yeah.
In the third car.
See, this reminds me of when I'm in the left lane on the interstate, and a guy in the middle in a little like Toyota minivan is moving over, and I'm booking it, and it's always gonna it's gonna
Yeah.
happen. So
I don't know why.
yeah.
I'm just thinking like Red Turtle and Mario Kart.
Oh yeah, the red turtle
Mhm.
shell. Yeah, got
Mhm.
nailed.
He did.
Absolutely.
He did. And I love how chill he is just getting out of the car. It's just like, oh, yep, just gonna put this
Yeah.
back in
Why
here.
not?
and,
Well, again, like she was saying, you gotta hustle.
Yeah,
You gotta go.
no,
You gotta
yeah.
hustle, you gotta
I also
go.
say, check that stance.
That's
My
true.
God.
The stand, the camber.
Yeah, man.
Damn. This
Absolutely.
also reminds me a bit of like Monza
Mm.
2021 with the tire
Oh
of
yeah,
Lewis
yeah.
Hamilton, tire Max Verstappen over Lewis Hamilton. That was Monza, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
Um,
first turn in the little chicane, or what?
yeah,
That's not
that one.
technically a chicane.
No, it's not.
That car
But-
is still driving better than Williams. Check that out.
Look at that. Yeah, I bet it could run a faster lap time than it could.
Oh, I'm sure.
This one on one tire probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
With Michael
With
behind the
Michael
wheel.
behind the wheel.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Maybe.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But I like this too because Michael always had bad luck at China.
Mhm.
This he didn't restart he didn't start the race.
Bad luck.
And-
He turned into the guy.
He was finished and Fernando won the championship that year, so
Yep.
he's just kind of down here. But 06 in China, the next year he was his last Grand Prix win.
I just want to know what Albers was thinking in that situation. Like, why did he just go, like, why?
Well, this makes me want to look after the fact now. I want to look at the media and be like, I don't know. I haven't seen any content in terms of like what their interviews after the fact were, and
I haven't
kinda
either.
Yeah.
wanna know.
No,
I was,
imagine,
like, born
imagine
this year,
also
so
it's
your
been a long
your
time.
spotter in
Fair.
your ear.
Yeah,
Just like-
literally.
You guys keep bringing that up.
That would-
F1 doesn't have spotters.
Well, no, I'm just saying,
but
if
they,
you
But
did,
they
apparently
should.
they should.
That would be so
See, prime
funny.
example. Number one.
You're like, yup, there's a Ferrari right up to your side there. Oh.
Oh.
Yikes.
Too late.
Like, oops.
All right, let's move on to the next one. This one happened in 2010.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
bye wheels.
Bye bye.
Bye byes.
They're going. They're flying away.
This is so funny.
Someone forgot to tighten a center cap there.
This is
Um,
this is what
This is just the-
happens when wheels are old enough they can leave the nest and then fly away. That's what happens.
They
Well,
matured a little faster than they were predicting.
his
Yeah.
front suspension just completely.
This is
gave
my
out. It's
favorite
like,
part of the
bye-bye.
clip. Is you're gonna see the wheels are gonna fly away and he's
He's
still gonna
still
try and
trying
turn the
to
car. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, yeah. Well,
Oh, whoopsie.
He's like, all right, I'll let go.
Guys, I think
Oh,
my
well.
traction control
Let's go.
turned
All
off.
day.
I
I
don't
think
know
this
what
is
happened.
this is very up there with like just the incident clip in general. People probably see this on TikTok today and be like, how does that even happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a very
Absolutely.
in-depth reason why that happens that I don't know.
Well, our tech guy
I-
over here might be able to explain it to us.
Well,
yeah,
that's-
Mr. Tech Tuesday.
That's a braking zone. So as soon as he pressed the brake, it just that likely, this is like the theory,
Yeah.
is that already the suspension wishbones had damage and cracks. So as
Oh.
soon as he slammed
It
on
just
the
took
brakes,
too much.
and that's the fastest straight. So he's
Yeah.
booking it,
Oh yeah.
and that's the most
Absolutely.
force.
Yeah,
and it
that makes sense.
tugs on the tires,
Yep.
and it just couldn't.
Simultaneously.
The
That makes
torque
sense.
Yeah.
that goes through the wheels under
Yeah.
braking
Mhm.
Yeah.
and the suspension arms
stress on
just
it.
blew them
Yeah.
up.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
like his career when he went to Formula E.
Whoa, what's a
So,
dig?
uh,
Unnecessary dig.
the slow Sebastian.
No, it just
Yeah.
gave way. Like there was nothing
No.
left to do. I mean, like you said, the favorite part is just him trying to steer it out of the
like,
wall.
he
I'm
tried
I
like,
his
still
best.
got this.
what are you trying to steer? There's no tires, and you're not going to turn
Trying
anywhere.
to steal those brake calipers.
I guess it's just autopilot, right?
Pretty
like you
much.
just that's what you
Pretty
should do.
much.
But I love it. It's so funny.
It's a hilarious. The Toro Rosso.
Things like this just happen in China. Like I was looking for these moments, and I was like, there's one every year.
Mm.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get one this year.
Hopefully.
Exactly.
Again, we got a lot of rusty drivers coming into a track they haven't been to in a long time. So,
Botas spun under safety car 2017.
boom.
So
Like
how do you even do that as an experienced driver?
it's Botas.
It's Botas.
Australian
Right.
man, baby.
I'm looking forward for a repeat.
All right, last
another
one.
spin.
What do we got
Jensen
here?
Button enters the wrong pit box
The wrong
in
pit.
2011.
Well, that's unfortunate.
I mean, it's so funny.
Oh, here we go.
I just don't. Again, how do you do that? Like what?
I love this view too. It's like you're inside the commentary box. He just went
Yeah.
through.
I like how they were like, yeah, we'll just.
Not even the same uniforms. though.
Not
Like,
even close. I mean, they're the whitest uniforms ever compared to like a red and almost black. Like,
I guess he just wanted to race for Red Bull. He wanted to know what it was
guess.
like
He
to
was
He's
win.
like,
Yeah.
all right, let's see what this is like, right?
He's like, all right, boys, gas me up.
No, the funniest part, look, he's fully stopped.
Yep.
And then he's like, wait, this isn't me.
I like seeing they're like shooing him along. You're like, get out of here, dude. What are
They
you
both
doing?
lost out with this too because they both had slow pit stops.
I would
and
Yeah.
Lewis
cracked
won
up
the
if
race,
someone would just
so-
like start like taking out the tires off and just like, oh, no, no.
God.
because
funny.
Hamilton did this 2 years
I
later.
feel like I heard about that.
but
yeah.
the uniforms were the same. Like he went from McLaren white uniforms to
Oh,
Mercedes
that's
silver
true.
uniforms.
Yeah.
It's like at a glance, I could see them mess it up.
That's the one I
But-
know about. Is
Yeah.
I know Hamilton. I've seen that clip.
Yeah.
before.
I will say
I don't
this-
get what Button was thinking here. Like he hasn't been in a team with those colors.
He was just on a Sunday drive.
Maybe
Yeah.
since ever. Maybe since Benetton, like 2003. Like that
Yeah.
was a long time
I'll also
ago.
say if they had like the things that NASCAR had, like the little paddles, you know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
you're talking like when they signal them, something like that?
Yeah.
Maybe.
This wouldn't be a problem.
Well, they do. They're just not. They should
Sort
know.
of.
They should.
You
I'm
should
just
know.
saying.
Like, come on.
no, I'm not giving
Yeah.
an excuse. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I think it's so funny. But
You win some, you lose some.
You win
Yeah.
some, you lose some. That's true.
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, Red Bull. At least Red Bull didn't win that race because that was also Red Bull dominance.
Well, what
period.
year
Also
was
true.
this? Like
This was
2011.
2011. Yeah.
It was also Red Bull
Good year.
dominance.
Very good
Oh,
year.
yeah, I guess.
With-
yeah, Sebastian Vettel.
That I thought it was on screen. Sebastian Vettel.
yeah.
But yeah, let's go to the final segment. China predictions, kind of winners and losers style. F1 always does their 6 winners, 6 losers after the race, but we're going to predict who the winners and losers be. Again, this doesn't have to be who's going to win the race, just
Yes.
someone that's going to have a good race and someone that's going to have a bad race.
Can I make an
Yes.
aside real quick?
Mhm.
You know what this looks like?
Mm.
You know an ironing board? You
It
know,
does
look like
an ironing board.
I'm really scared for that.
I
It also
know.
looks
Yeah,
like-
yeah, yeah.
I'm so scared.
I'm scared and so excited.
It's a loop to loop. Like
We
a carnival
love
ride.
loopy
1,
loops.
2, 3, 4 is
I will say
crazy.
how
Yeah.
close, what is that, 3 is to the straight there.
Yeah, no,
there's
for
definitely
real.
something there,
Yeah.
right?
No, I'm sure there has to be, but
But I'm
I
glad-
could see someone just going through and just be like, oh,
Oh, my
Yeah.
bad.
I'm glad you guys see my vision though. with the
Yeah.
iron.
I definitely do
Yeah.
see it.
yeah.
I
I also
see
see
it.
it's like, what's that? There's like a turn solace like that. I forget what it is.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Mm.
Not
okay.
off the top of my head.
That straight is scary too.
100%. Oh, the main straight? Absolutely. But which one? Wait.
Both of them.
Both
There's
in
two
general,
straights back
yeah,
to back.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure
Both
Mercedes
DRS
aren't gonna love
zones.
that.
DRS is about to be
Pretty
crazy.
crazy.
Max Verstappen's gonna have so much fun.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
be a
he
rocket
always
ship.
does. He
Rocket
always
ship.
does.
All right. First up,
Not
I
even-
think is you, Steven.
Okie dokie. Well, so I have an interesting take on this, I would say. I got my winner being George Russell, and I have my loser being Esteban Ocon.
So George is gonna have a good race per his standards.
Per his standards.
So he's gonna finish.
Well, I predicted yes. I predicted he was going to go P3.
Right.
So I think he's going to have a great race this one.
That's a great race for Mercedes in general.
yeah, P3
Amazing
for
race
Mercedes is
for
amazing.
George, even though I have faith in George. I do.
George is great.
I do
No.
too.
I mean, just look at the man's. Like,
We've
Look at
discussed
that, what
this
a
so many
shot,
times.
right?
He
Look at
does
that.
not like George. For anybody that doesn't
Man.
know.
I don't dislike George. I just don't think he has the abilities
doesn't
that
have
you guys
it.
think he has.
You just
Doesn't
don't
have
like
it.
Mercedes.
that is also
That is
true.
correct.
That's
but I
also
never
true.
claimed that Lewis Hamilton wasn't a great driver.
That's fair.
Never said
Well,
he was a
yeah.
good
Doesn't have
driver
the
either.
skills,
Yeah, that is true.
in my opinion.
So George being a winner, I like that. That's a
Yeah.
good pull.
Yeah. And then, of course, I just have Esteban Ocon, which, I mean, if we're being honest, is kind of a given.
I would like to say he's going to be hindered by his vehicle. You know what I mean? Which
Well,
is
he's going to be a major
What will
loser.
break
first?
Alpine will lose big time this
Oh,
weekend, I think.
absolutely.
Again,
Yeah.
you have those terrible straights.
Yep.
Their car
Yeah.
used to be really quick on the straights.
Yeah.
before, and then they went completely different with setup, and now it's just
Complete opposite.
it's just
Complete
great.
opposite.
So ever since the win with that paint, man, it's just
Yeah.
never been the same.
Nope. 100%.
It's just never been the
And
same.
nobody likes the paint either.
No.
It's like there's no paint
Well,
on that
that's
car.
exactly.
Nobody's a
We talked
fan.
about it on the first show, the
Yeah.
first ever F1 show.
Yeah.
All right, I think you're next.
It's me. Tristan is next. Oh, there's
Yeah.
Esteban. There he is.
There he
What a handsome
is.
fella.
Why is he look so
Did you
yellow
say
in that
handsome
picture?
fella? I think
I don't know.
Riley would disagree.
Riley probably would disagree. Riley was audible about her feelings towards Esteban Ocon.
Twice.
And that's fine. I don't know.
She
He's
talked about it on the
aight.
show,
He's got a
and
nice
then
haircut.
she did it on our.
Yeah, he's a well
on the street.
escaped man.
I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But all right. So yeah, if it is me, all right, cool. My winner, I'm going with an old timer, right? Somebody who's gonna know this
Ooh.
track, somebody's gonna get the
surprised.
rips of it. Fernando Alonso.
Fernando Alonso.
Again, listen, I think I'm probably the most unsung favorite fan of Fernando Alonso.
Yeah.
Even though I need to get some of his merchandise. But
He's awesome.
I've said it, and I think China is going to be a testing ground for a lot of the young guns in general.
yeah.
So I
agree
think
with
some
that.
of the older guys are going to really have an upper hand. He might not get on the podium. I think he will. I'm hoping for like a P3. But I
Oh.
fully believe top 5
Okay.
is for sure in the works for Fernando Alonso.
Yeah.
And then my loser, it's going to be kind of on the opposite spectrum of you, actually, Steven. I'm going with Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton is
Oh,
going to
we
be
took
my
both
loser.
the old guns.
I think the opposite for Lewis. I think Mercedes is going to fail him.
Oh,
I don't
really?
think it's going to be
Okay.
his skills that fail him. I think
Okay.
Mercedes is going to fail
Well, his
him.
skills rarely fail him.
That's true. I mean, whenever he's
So-
in a one-on-one on track, regardless, he always has the upper hand. So I
Yeah.
think like no matter what on his racecraft, it's going to be great. I just don't think that car is going to be up to par.
Yeah.
Except
Yeah.
this year, Russell has been beating him. Just like 2022,
Yep,
that's
he's
what I'm
just been beating
saying.
him. Even Nico
Yep.
Rosberg was like, equal machinery, Russell's faster. So,
It's true.
Nico, any chance he gets, boom, one right
yeah.
at Hamilton.
Yeah. I really like your Fernando Alonso because,
Mhm.
like you said, I think it's gonna be a test on the rookies. Not necessarily rookies, but people like drivers that haven't driven here before, especially because F2 doesn't race in China.
Yeah.
They have this long break until F1 races in. I want to say it's Monza when they go back to Europe, and
Yeah.
then they come back. So they don't race here, and
No.
so I think it's gonna be really tough for. They have to learn the circuit. Obviously, they have
Some-
sims for that.
I mean,
but
is there a
something.
majority of the drivers on the grid actually have never raced here?
no.
Like Oscar Piastri has probably never raced here. He was
The latest rookies haven't, but like Max, and
has
the young guns that we like
Young-ish.
traditionally think of,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Lando
yeah.
has,
yeah.
Max has.
Charles Leclerc has
I think actually Alex Albon, George Russell, Lando Norris, their rookie year was the last year they raced in China.
right.
Okay.
Okay.
So also not a great representation
no,
because
no.
they're fresh.
and it's been so long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So fair
Yeah.
enough.
yeah.
Yeah.
All
we'll see.
right,
That's mine.
Jason, your
All right.
pick.
so I have Sainz as being my winner.
They're very good.
He might even have a shot at
Respectable.
winning the Grand Prix.
That's what I like to
believe it.
hear.
I think Alonso was it was some driver, either Alonso, Albon, somebody with the A name. I saw a report is that Ferrari is so strong in those medium and low speed corners. And
Yeah.
you saw with all those like twisty, like the snail
The
curve, the
loop-de-loops.
1, 2
The
to
snail-
The
4.
snail curve.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like that too.
They're gonna dominate through those key overtaking zones. The only thing I'm scared for are the long straights, but I think Ferrari has enough that they'll be able to keep
Yeah,
up. So
Really fair.
I am looking forward for even possibly an outright.
Yeah. I mean, if they can get
outright
out
win.
in the first corner, I mean,
I don't know. I will agree with you that I think he's gonna have an amazing race. I think I put him in my prediction as second.
Right.
So I
And
think
he's
he'll
so
have a great
close
race.
to Mercedes contract. I think
He
he's going
is.
Mercedes
It's
next year.
You think
so
so?
he
I think
needs
he's
this
got
win
it.
to
Really
secure
want
it.
him at Red
This win
Bull.
to security is the only one in the field that could actually beat Max Verstappen so far. So
Oh yeah.
I think he's.
Do you
I don't want to go on
Toto
a
Wolff just
tangent
wants
with
the beauty
that,
points.
but I think he totally has.
Do you think that
contract
could
locked
be a hindrance to Red Bull signing Max Verstappen?
up. No.
Or to Red Bull signing Carlos Sainz? Sorry,
Oh,
misspoke. That he's
Maybe.
able to beat Max. Could that be a hindrance of
I
Red
think
Bull signing
back
him?
to 2016.
It could be, honestly.
That's my immediate mindset. We've talked about this before. If you have two teammates that are actually very capable of beating one another week
Yeah.
to week, I think of Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton. Like it's
Yeah.
it's a combination that I don't think any principal wants to see again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nobody wants to see a battle like that within the team. So
Absolutely.
maybe I don't know.
No,
I like it.
I mean, I
But-
think we see that now with Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz now, though. Maybe not on the
Yeah,
same
but I don't
level,
think there's
but
like a great battle there.
Yep.
Like
No,
they work
yeah.
well together.
Yep.
But who's to say that Carlos and Max would work with them?
Absolutely.
That's
Well,
fair. That's
for
fair.
my loser, he might actually
Lawrence
lose and come in
Stroll.
last.
It's true.
Is Lance Stroll. I think Alonso is going to have another incredible weekend,
Yeah.
just absolutely beating him. Lance has been off the mark all year for the past like 3 years.
Mm.
This is like he peaked at that pole position in Turkey with Racing Point, even before it was Aston Martin.
Yeah.
And all the contracts are coming up. They just got Alonso locked in.
Yep.
I really don't see him sticking around anymore. He should go like play tennis or something. I tried to
Fair, he
be
really can.
I tried to be a pro Stroll
Like-
type of guy, but recently I just can't support him anymore.
Daddy's Cash has got to get out.
That's fair.
He's
Yeah.
got to go.
Only driver to skip Formula 2 since Max Verstappen.
I was about to say.
He's
you
got
gotta
that
put
going for
since
him.
Max
Put on the
Verstappen.
brakes there. I knew that was coming.
No, but he skipped F2 not because he was talented.
He won Formula
Yeah.
3.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Let's go to my pick. I said winner Lando Norris.
Ooh, I like that pick.
There he is.
I
Hello.
don't know about a podium, but I think if they can finish, they're probably going to finish fourth again.
Right.
Oh,
They're McLaren can be so consistent,
they can.
And
or they can be a train wreck.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
There's
it's
no,
like one of
there's
those.
literally no in between. So, I don't know. I really have so much faith in Lando Norris.
Mhm.
Every F1 fan is waiting for that first win,
Mm-hmm.
but
We're just gonna
Certainly.
explode when that happens.
I just
I'm
don't
telling you
feel
what.
the
I
world
don't-
is gonna.
I just
shift
don't
on
have a
its
good feeling
axis.
about this weekend. I really don't.
Really,
I don't know why. It's a gut feeling.
he isn't a
Mm.
rookie at this track though. He has raced
Yeah.
here before.
Yep.
He is giving you a weird look right now.
He is
Yeah.
gonna
He's,
Yeah.
he's giving you some
Side-eye.
bombastic side eye right
Side
there.
eye,
bombastic side.
bombastic side eye.
Lando
And my
side-eye.
loser is Kevin Magnussen.
Okay, Mag.
Oh.
He's bad.
Well,
All
okay.
in
Bad.
favor of Kevin Magnussen's last year. Please.
He's
don't
got
know.
at least 2 more in him.
No, this has to be his last year.
I don't know.
Listen, I'm kind of on the Haas hype train right now with Jason, whereas they have scored points in more races already than they have last
But
year.
Nico Hulkenberg scored most of those points.
Sure, and he did last year too. But I mean, I don't know. I'm very confident in their 9th to 10th place speed, which is crazy to say. But still,
When-
it's like
Would you prefer Nico Hulkenberg and Ollie Behrman over Kevin Magnussen?
It's tough to say,
I
honestly.
mean, for sure. But like, he's such a I don't know. He's such a happy, jovial personality. I loved his excitement when he was. Did he win pole in Brazil?
He got
That's
pole
what
in
it was,
Brazil,
right?
yeah.
I don't know. I like to see that. I mean, but that's like just about anybody, right? You could have like Ocon winning pole and he would have the same emotion. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't
George
know. I
Russell would just
respect it if
stump.
that makes sense. I fully respect it, but no, Magnussen, we like him.
I think
Yeah.
he's going to DNF, but we'll see.
Well, that's
Yep.
sad.
Totally fair.
Nico Hulkenberg points, Kevin Magnussen DNF.
Okay.
But anyways, that is all we have for today. I'm your host, Marina, Jason, Steven, and Tristan. Don't forget to tune in next week. We don't have a show tomorrow, but we will be back next week for more shows.